2 Minuten noch bis zum Start des ersten Spurschnitts. Wir sagen die Bahnarbeit bitte beenden, falls sich jetzt jemand noch in der Bahn befinden sollte. Diese bitte räumen. 2 Minuten noch. Dann jeder los. 2 Spurbox haben wir hier vor den Zeiten. Ziel angekommen und damit Aufruf für den zweiten Spurbob und der wird gesteuert von Alexander Czulaj. Spurbob Nummer 2, links und R.
Welcome back to Altenberg, the opening race of the IBSF two-man Bobsleigh World Cup. And we are deep in home territory for Francesco Friedrich, the bobsledder. He is our first heat leader. Heading into heat 2, fastest 20 sleds go through from the first heat of 23 sleds. So we go in reverse order, and the leader will be the last man to go. Now, the top 3 is all German sleds. In third place, the winners here in February, well, the winning driver here in February, Adam Amor. He's 1500s ahead of Brad Hall, lies in the bronze medal position after the first of the 2 heats. Brother Issam is back behind him on the back handles. Another good, strong drive from Adam Amor. Ahead of him, the man who won the 2 previous races on this track in 2023, including the European Championships, Johannes Lochner, with Georg Fleischhauer behind him. And Georg was sharing duties that weekend with Eric Bruckert. Bruckert waiting his go in the 4-man, undoubtedly. Hansi and Georg lie in second, but with a new start record from his new brakeman, it is Francesco Friedrich that leads on home ice. Hasn't won here for 2 years, has got 8 wins, including 2 World Championship goals on this track, and a new start record with the man mountain that is Simon Wolf. So Friedrich leads Lochner and Amor, Brad Hall within spitting distance, and then Kim ahead of a massive battle Marcus Tricol, Cedric Follador ahead of Jakob's Calendar, Lee Chun-jan, Timo Rona tied, 100th ahead of Patrick Baumgartner. Then Mihai Tentea, Frankie Del Duca, Mattia Variola, Jakob Mandelbauer and Boris Van, all in another little clump, with Adam Baird just ahead of Sun Kai-chi. And the final two sleds from Czechia, Jakub Prochaska and the first man who will go, Matej Behunek. Well, there is Gert Leopold. Leo Leopold in the white hat, the physical trainer for the German team. And there is the new man on the block, Simon Wolf. Johannes Lochner out with everybody else in the car park warming up. And there is Patrick Baumgartner of Italy, Youth Olympic medalist in his turn in the early days of the Youth Olympics. So 20 sleds, 24 athletes busy warming up, a whole bunch more just hanging around, nothing much else to do. 3 Romanian teams in the field, astonishing commitment from the Romanians. Only one got through, Mihai Tentea, and he will be 9th out, as he was in 12th place after the first heat. And then we get through into the top half dozen. Brad Hall looking for another medal here. He was the silver medalist in the first race in 2023. Nicky Vogt, Sandra Mikkel took silver in the second race. They were both injured in a crash here last year, wishing both of them a speedy recovery. Matej Behunek with Michal Domesh behind him. First at 2 sleds, 20th and 19th for Czechia, the Czech Republic. Started 16 fastest, 5:37, but it was a bit a bumpy run for Matej. Again, skids out of 2. Little bump in 3, put him offline into 4, having to work hard with the steering to get it clean onto 5. Rattles off 6, into the upper labyrinth. Out of corner 9, named after Harold Chudai. Now, Harold Chudai's competing days are long gone, but he is still driving this track. He was one of the 4 runners before the race and before the second heat. And this is looking just a little bit off time again, as was his first run. Behunek across the line with a 55.95, 56.08 in the first heat, so it was better. That might just be because he's got fresher ice. Lots of fans from the Czech Republic, and Altenberg is about 12 kilometers from the border with the Czech Republic. It's about an hour and a quarter's drive to Prague. So lots of Czech fans habitually come here. And like from the start, all going a little bit squirrely. And here in the transition academy, look at the way that Matej gets bounced up out of the seat there as he gets on late and hard. All right, well, down, done, made the cut. Leader for now, and his slightly less experienced teammate, Jakub Prochaska, went a little quicker now. Lukas Petrikovic is on the back of the sled. First start in the World Cup for Lukas, just 22 years old. He's only done 8 bobsleigh races before now in Europe Cup. And in at the last minute, or overnight, for Ladislav Fila. 5:32, not quite as quick as their first start, but it gives them an increased advantage over their teammates. Starting 800s quicker, so 1100s up. Ooh, a little bit of a tap onto turn 5. Thought Jakub had definitely the better of the 2 runs. There wasn't a lot in it. It's not bad out of 9, little tap there, but better speed coming into the Kreisel, so he's extending his advantage. And a good exit out of the Kreisel as well, good transition. Still better speed than Behunek. Oh, long skid from 14 into 15 will rob him of a little bit of speed. take time out of the sled, but he has the lead by 33 hundredths. 4/10 quicker than his first heat. Did look like he'd made improvements there as well. Well, you might say, okay, they're only 19th and 20th. Does it matter which one finishes in front of which? Well, it does individually for the drivers in terms of their World Cup rankings. And that will have an indicator in their position for the World Championship start draws. But also, if you can't beat your teammate, you will never win anything. So the first job is always to beat your teammate and leave him hanging when he's going for the handshake, by the way, as well. So there you saw Lukas Petrikovic and Jakub Prochaska, our current leaders. And next up, Sun Kai-shi and Wei Peng. And again, a rookie brakeman with Sun. Just 21, Wei. He's had 8 four-man races before now. 5-4-0, so they lose a little ground at the start to the Czech Republic behind. Their lead, they sit down just 300ths, and that's very rocky from Sun. Overdriving it a bit early on. And that 3-4-5 transition, 3-4 particularly, really hurting him. Gets a tap out of 9, weaves down the straight, better speed than Prochaska. Onto the Kreisel, little tap coming off and a very hard transition, 11-12. If that doesn't kill his speed, I don't know what will. Sideways. Swiss technicians have got good runners on this, clearly, because despite the mistakes, that was actually a decent speed at the bottom, 55.67. So he adds 200ths to his first round advantage over Prochaska. Sun Kai-chi with Wei Peng are the new leaders. Sun in his 16th World Cup start. And new boy Wei, one of half a dozen new two-man brakemen at the start of this season. Yeah, big first pressure, really hauled it around. And here as well, ugly, ripped it off there. He was very worried about wrecking. So, Sun on the right, and Wei on the left, his new young brakeman. Altenberg from Great Britain with a new brakeman in his sled as well. The Royal Marine Commando, joined by 23-year-old Austin Millward.
Come on, let's go.
Only previous race for the brakeman, four-man World Championships in Winterberg. So straight in at the deep end. Former American footballer in the college system. Played for Butte College and then San Jose State. Came a judoka and now a bobsledder. 5-4-0. Again, a whisker slower than their first getaway. But nice transitions at the top of the track. Just about gets away with it in 3. Hard onto 5 though. That's going to take some of that lead away. 400s still. Just about keeping his nose in front of Sun Kai-chi. Nice exit out of 9. Good straight away. Only the 3rd best speed though in the Kreisel. Sun was quickest. So the gap goes from red to green, green to red rather. He's behind, and now dropping down potentially 2 spots, 1200s back, but best speed of all for Altenberg. He needs to keep it very clean at the bottom. Is he going to grab the lead? No. Second place, 900s back. Well, nobody likes to drop a spot, but for a moment there, looked like he was also going to drop behind Jakub Prochaska. As it is, he ties him to the 100th. So the top 3 sleds are covered by 900ths of a second. And Sun Kai-chi moves up the order a fraction, as probably he should. More experience, certainly in World Cup terms, than Altenberg, and definitely with bigger backup behind him. Look at him here, got very high coming into Omega corner 4, had to really haul it off. And then That gives him late pressure and hits hard in 5. Sun Kai-chi in his 16th World Cup start. Altenberg just his 3rd in 2-man. It's Sun who leads after the first 4 sleds. And next up for Monaco, Bobsleigh and Arthur Prevost. Arthur ran this a long way in the first heat, his first ever 2-man World Cup start. After 4 4-man races and 4 2-man races at Europe Cup level. Max Robert in the cap in the background. Boulot-Nigent coaching the team and coaching the French bobsleigh outfit as well. Let's see what they got as a start. 5.40, 5.36 in first heat, but is their velocity better? Yes, it is, because I don't think Arthur ran it quite so far and landed into the sled a bit better. 4 into 5 was clean, a little bit wavy in 4 maybe. 2400s up on Sun Kai-chi. Ooh, skiddy straight away, still best speed going into the Kreisel. Nice lines in the Kreisel, Boris. Brings it out, top speed, 3100s up. It's a very good looking run so far from Bobsleigh. Still top speed. He's going to be over 4/10 clear at the line, nearly 5/10. Big run from Big Boris, 55.33, 4600s, almost half a second quicker than his previous run, and it looked it. Well, not overrunning it at the start, and getting a nice clean load. They didn't have a faster start, but they had better velocity, that's sure. And it's about what the start gives to the run, not just the numbers that you get at the start. And hopefully, Arthur has learned that lesson. Here in the Kreisel, just keeping a nice, relatively flat parabola. Excellent stuff, covering as little ground as possible. Bobsleigh leads for Monaco, 5 down, 15 to go. Opening IBSF 2-man bobsleigh World Cup of the season in Altenberg in Germany. Bobsleigh and Monaco leads after the first 5 sleds in the second heat now. Jakob Mandelbauer of Austria, another of our rookie brakemen, 24-year-old Adam Wiener behind him. They get a 5.40. The last 4 sleds have gone off in 5.4 dead. So they have a 1/100th of second advantage over Bobsleigh. This is the battle, basically 6 to 16th. 300s in it. Mandelbauer with the tiniest of advantages. And gets a pretty decent run from 9 down into the Kreisel. Better speed than Van by a whisker. Opening up that advantage. Nice smooth 11-12. 118 kilometers an hour compared to 116.7 of the Monegasque sled. So should be getting on for 2.5/10 at the line. Only 1300s. Not sure where he lost that down at the bottom. 55.21, but that is over half a second quicker than his first heat. So he was 100th ahead of Bobsleigh. Now leads by 1300s. 5700s faster than his first run. That's 4.5. And out of 14. Just a little touch there going uphill. Then went offline into 15, but there's Jakob Mandelbauer on the right. A big figure of his new brakeman, Adam Wiener, on the left. Gets the congrats from Bobsleigh. So that shows you how big Adam Wiener is. Big Boris isn't called Big Boris for nothing. Mattia Variola next for Italy with Fabio Batti behind him. Mattia crashed out in race 2. In the second heat rather, last time in February. Fabio Batti, let's see what they can do. It's his 6th 2-man start. And a 25th as a driver for Mattia Variola. 7th place here in January 2023 remains his World Cup best result. It's going to have to be something very strange happening if he's anywhere remotely close to that. He's in this massive tussle with Jakob Mandelbauer, our current leader, Bobsleigh, Sun Kai-chi, Frank Del Duca, Mihai Tenter, Uncle Tom Cobley and all. This is going to be very close. Get a little tap and a skid. Come on, over to the left. Just about got there, but lost speed down the straight. Only 3rd fastest, only 5th fastest now, and an uncomfortable 11-12 crossover as well. 1100s back. This is going to cost him. He's going to drop, maybe even behind Sun Kai-chi. I don't think so. 3rd at the line, but 3100s back. So 55.53 compared to 55.77. It was better than his first heat, but not as significant an improvement as those around him. So Mattia Variola and Fabio Batti dropped down to 3rd place. Jakob Mandelbauer, too many consonants, remains in the lead. And the Italians with an uncomfortable run down into the Kreisel. I'm quite liking the olive drab on the sled. That's quite a funky look. Next up is Frank Del Duca, new brakeman. How many times have we said that today? Dylan Gilbert. So Dylan, 27 years old, no official races at all until today. Frank just had a bit of a wayward first heat. I'm sure he can do better on this track. Tidy from 2 down to 3, that's what you need. Then out of 3 into 4, that's a better line. And he's paid the price of a poor line in the first heat, hitting 5, comes out cleanly. So 1300s up, Del Duca. Best result here, 8th place finish in his only World Cup. That was in February of this year. His only World Cup on this track anyway. Nice exit. 2nd best speed, still in the mix with Jakob Mandelbauer. Didn't have much in hand, only 500s over the Austrians. 700s back. Boris Van is 1300s back in 2nd place, and at the line, Frankie is in 2nd, but Mandelbauer moves up a spot.
2nd place currently for Team Del Duca from USA.
So Frank Del Duca slips 1 into 2nd place, but this is such a tight group. He could still move up. Sleds to come may not improve, or may not improve as much. Still building his experience of the European tracks. Frank Del Duca did his driving training in North America. Learned those tracks first and is expanding in Europe. It's only his 13th World Cup start. Dylan Gilbert completes his first race day for Team USA. Next up, Mihai Tenter for Romania. The only one of the 3 Romanian drivers to make it through into the top 20. But looking forward to seeing more of new boys Andrea Turia and Andrei Nika in the weeks to come. He's got regular 2-man brakeman Georg Jordash behind him. 3rd 2-man World Cup for Georg. And for Mihai, 31st 2-man World Cup start. 5:34, find a fraction more than their first heat. He's got such good driving skills, this young man, still only 25, Mihai Tenter. Look at the lines. Flawless stuff, 2800s up. Now, he lost speed late in the run in first heat. 2200s up, only 4th best speed into the Kreisel. That suggests maybe something with the runner choice, because the lines are looking good. Third best speed, little tap there, down into 13. Exit of 14, is he clean-ish? Best speed, 1:24.1. And at the line, how far in front? 2 tenths up, 55.17 compared to 55.62 in the first heat. And 55.17 is the 6th fastest run of the day. That's a very good second effort. World Cup best ever result is a 7th place finish in two-man. Best here at 10th place in one of the races in January 2023. We had double bobsleigh race weekends on consecutive weekends here in January 23. He got a top 10 finish from one of those. And right now, well, he was 12th. I think a top 10 might well be on the cards for Mihai Tenteja. Who knows, maybe even a personal best. Let's see what everybody else has got. Let's see how everybody else improves or doesn't. Next up is our remaining Italian sled, Patrick Baumgartner, the more experienced of their drivers, with Robert Messea behind him. Baumgartner, the first boys youth Olympic champion, now 29 years old, 43rd two-man World Cup race. Italians got him in the program nice and early. Second best velocity off a 5:33 start, so Rob Messea really helping with the acceleration. Baumgartner's always driven well, but needed that speed at the start. It does seem that that's come in the last year or two. 8th place, his best result on this track. He was 9th in February. 2nd best speed at the Kreisel. Still building advantage over Mihai Tenteja. Does look like the track is at least as quick as it was in the first heat. Baumgartner continuing to extend that advantage. Best speed of all. Wow, this is a really nice looking run. Patrick Baumgartner takes the lead, 54.96. That is the 4th fastest run. That's quicker than Brad Hall went in the first heat. So a big improvement. 44 hundredths of a second faster than his first run. Now got hard onto 4. Had to work to recover that. Out of 9, watch the runner tips. Big steer at the end of Chudai. So he didn't have the line right there either. Either got on a little late, or there's Rob Messea, or left it a little late coming off. Well, 10 down, 10 to go. Patrick Baumgartner leads from Mihai Tenteja and Jakob Mandelbauer. And the medals still to be decided here. The first World Cup of the two-man bobsleigh season. So, after the snow yesterday, with a hurry-up offence throughout the day to try and get 3 skeleton races in, better conditions today. You can see from the flags on the extreme right of your shot that it is pretty breezy. Lots of speed. More, Pew, is that more or most? Not sure. My Italian isn't that great. There's Greg Jones. He'll be in the 4-man tomorrow for Switzerland and then heads off to continue driver training. Lots of fans from the Czech Republic in Czech hats with Czech flags. There's the Italians. Rob Messea on the right, Patrick Baumgartner on the left. Not a small guy, Patrick. And Great Britain's Chris Woolley with the team as ever. Rico Pater, by the way, left the Swiss Federation over the summer. So at the moment, Woollyman helping out all round, but driver coaching coming also from Wolfgang Stampfer, who's helping out the Swiss as well as his duties with the Austrians. So, as so often in his career as a coach, Wolfie wearing more than one hat. And those rainbow hats, the sign of the Francesco Friedrich fan club, of course. Lots of yellow jackets in the crowd, down in the bleachers. Everybody well wrapped up. It's not a warm day today. Very distinct temperature change compared to the races in Asia. Those were skeleton-only weekends. First 3 races of the Skeleton World Cup season in Pyeongchang, Korea, and in Beijing. And skeleton yesterday, completing 4th race weekend. So here we go. Final 10 sleds in race 1 of the IBSF two-man bobsleigh World Cup. And in 10th place after the first heat, or strictly tied for 9th, Timo Röner and Mathieu Herbsberger, his new brakeman. 5.40, another good strong start. Very impressed with Timo Röner's first drive. Father Marcel was one of the standout brakemen for Switzerland a quarter of a century ago. And Timo Röner, been waiting for him to shine. It does look like if he can get a second good heat together, this will be his coming out. Second best speed into the Kreisel, still behind Patrick Baumgartner. The gap is growing. He is going to lose place here. Not going to have the speed at the bottom to overhaul the Italian. But he's bringing the margin down a fraction. 1800s back at best speed. Don't think he's got enough to catch him. He doesn't. 2/10 back. 55.17. Might yet be a top 10 finish for Timo Röner. He is in second place behind Patrick Baumgartner for the moment. Timo Röner, 27-year-old, his 9th World Cup start. Previous best 6th place finish on this track. And that is his best World Cup result. But with new boy Mathieu Herbsberger behind him, making his World Cup debut, they are hoping that somebody else has a little bobble and they'll finish in the top 10. Well, they were tied in the first heat to the 100th with China's Li Chunjian. There is Li, Shi Yaolong behind him. And she also a World Cup debutante. No official races before today. So training only, and obviously racing back home in Beijing. 5.28 getaway, a whisker quicker than their first start. So it's not about trying to beat Röner, with whom he was tied. He's trying to stay ahead now of Patrick Baumgartner, and they had a whole 100th of a second over Baumgartner. The same advantage enjoyed by Röner. That is now out to 900ths of a second. Nice exit out of 9, but not great speed. Only 400ths in it. And he's going to go behind here, still 100 up, but only the 3rd best speed. 300s back, 6th best speed, not as quick as the leader. Timo Röner was the fastest at the bottom here, but, oh, Li drops back by 1200ths into second place. And so Patrick Baumgartner moves up a spot again. So Baumgartner now the leader with 8 to go. Li in second place will be no worse than 10th. But that's a 3/10 of a second improvement on his first heat. Not enough. A bit hard to say that, isn't it? When you're 3/10 better and it's not even enough to stay where you were. But that's the dogfight that we have going on at pretty much every race on every track between 6th and 16th. To Latvia now, and Jēkabs Kalender with Mats Miknis behind him. Miknis, a real veteran of the Latvian programme. and apparently hewn from solid, because I cannot remember a time when he's been injured. 54th two-man World Cup start for Mats Miknes, still only 31 in the prime of his career. 14th World Cup drive for Jakob's calendar. He hasn't got a great history here. Crashed in the first race in 2023, finished 16th in the second, disqualified in February 24's race here. Now his World Cup best ever result, a 9th place finish. He was in 8th place after the first heat. Is this going to be an all-time best run for Calendar? 300s up over Baumgartner, but only the 9th best speed. After he waved down the straight, he's going to go behind. 3rd best speed, 100th in it. Baumgartner wasn't the fastest, but he was quick here. 400s in it, not enough speed. Baumgartner is going to lead, and Calendar is going to drop back 1 spot. Oh, 100th ahead of Lee Chun-Jan.
Time in 2nd place currently for Team Calendar.
Well, the Latvians pulled out a 5:23 start, the fastest in the 2nd heat so far, but it wasn't quite enough. So Baumgartner leads still with 6 to go, or 7 to go, so you have a tie for 6th. And here's where some of those 1100s dropped away from the sled at Jakob's calendar. Working hard in 9, meandering down the straight. This 11-12 crossover, yeah, not smooth. And although the sled didn't roll over, it still digs in the ice and take time. There's Mats Miknes on the left. Not sure what the Latvian for Das Beast is, but that's got to be him, hasn't it? So, to our top Swiss after the first heat, Cedric Follador with Luca Rolli behind him. And Luca joining Follador's team after Simon Friedlich's retirement during the summer. So Follador, 16th World Cup start, 4th place here in the race in February, 5:38 getaway. Well, that is quicker than we saw from, 500 slower than we saw from Patrik Baumgartner. So their slender 1/10 of a second lead has gone already. Started 500 slower, didn't have the momentum of the Italian sled. So Follador is going to have to drive himself back in front of Baumgartner. Nice exit from 9, decent down the straight, but the speed isn't there now. He did have good speed in the first heat. 3rd best speed now, but the gap's out to 1500s. Has he got enough speed on board? 3rd best speed, 1600s, not enough. He's going to drop 2 spots, maybe 3. He yes drops 3. He's 4th at the line, 55.24. Only 600s of a second better than his first heat, and in this company, that is definitely not enough. So Patrik Baumgartner, the leader, with 6 to go. Luca Rolli leaps in. That's so tight. Follador 1800s back down in 4th place there. Patrik Baumgartner on the left, Rob Macer on the right. Just checking himself out in the TV. What's that gone in the middle of my forehead? So, Italy or Austria, who's going to reign supreme here? As every sled comes down after Patrik Baumgartner, they have got a slightly larger lead. Now, Marcus Treichel was tied to 100 with Cedric Follador. So, as you can see, his lead from the first heat is still tiny. 5:33 getaway. So exactly the same as Baumgartner. So he preserves his 1/10 of a second advantage. Just avoids a touch on the wall between 2 and 3, but flops off 3. Little rocky in 4. A little bit hard onto 5. And already the 10th has gone. He's 200s behind. and not a good exit out of 9. He was much cleaner in the first heat, only the 6th best speed. 1100s back, 7th best speed. He too is going to drop. He was tied with Cedric Follador in the first heat. With him in the second heat, but that will be back in 4th place. 1800s back is Follador, 3300s back. 6th position. Wow. Well, 900 slower than his first run, not a lifetime, but with so many improvements in the sleds that have come before him on the ice, that's enough to drop him a long way back. So Patrick Baumgartner, the leader now with 5 to go. Baumgartner posting already his best ever World Cup result on the track. And he's still in the leader's box. But that was a tough second heat for Austria's Markus Treichel. So pressure on then for Kim Jin-soo and Kim Hyung-gyun of Korea. They were bronze medalists here in February, but they are 8700ths off the lead. And they are 3200ths out of the medals. A quarter of a second in hand over Patrick Baumgartner, our current leader. Surely that's going to be enough. 5:23 getaway. So he's added another 10th to his advantage. Best velocity, but a little tap in 3 onto 4. A little hard onto 5. All of this isn't adding to his speed. Little tap there going to 7 and 8. Out of 9, does he come out straight? No, he flops and has a big skid, and another one, and another one. Where's the speed gone? Well, you just saw it go. Putting the sled sideways, same as ice skates, it slows you down. 12th best speed, 3/10 still in the bank. He's not going to hang on, surely here, is he? 1900s, 9th best speed, he might just do it. Running out of ice, but he is in the lead by 900ths. After a straight like that, that's remarkable.
Total time in first place currently for Team Kim from Korea.
The Korean sled just hanging on. That was an ugly looking run for Kim and Kim. Kim Jin-soo, the driver, his 20th World Cup race, and he will finish in the top 5. Look at Kim Dong-joon in the background, really digging in. A late flop off 9, sideways into the wall, long skid, not fighting it, waiting for it to come back. And Rob Messier and Patrick Baumgartner move from the leader's box as the Kims move in. 4 to go. This is the battle for the medals. Bronze medalists in February, Kim Jin-soo and Kim Hyung-gyun are the leaders. Silver medalists in January 23, Brad Hall and Taylor Lawrence. 4th after the first heat. Are they going to be able to close on the medals here? 5:21 getaway, same as in the first heat. 4th fastest start. They were only 1500ths out of the medals. And a cleaner run from 2 into 3, cleaner into 4, does he come out nicely, smooth into 5. Now the transition onto 7 and 8 is good. Out of Tudai, needs to come out straight, and does. What's the speed like coming into the Kreisel? Only 4th best. Not quite as quick as you would hope. 2nd best speed in the 11-12 transition, 3/10 up on Kim. It's not about the Koreans, it's about trying to grab a medal to start the season. Only the 6th best speed at the bottom of the track. That's going to make it tough. He'll have the lead with 3 to go. 54.86 for Brad Hall. Two-tenths quicker than the first run for the Brits. Off an identical start, Is that enough? They were 1500s out of the medals, but it does mean that Adam and Issam Amour, if they improve as well, even by 600s or 500s, it'll give them a medal. Well, a good-looking Kreisel, but the speed at the bottom of the track not quite where it perhaps ought to be. The lines were good. Brad Hall, the leader, with 3 to go. There's Big T, Taylor Lawrence. So now it's wait and see time from the leader's box. Adam Amour, the driver, and his big old brother, Issam, 27 years of age. Issam Amour, 23, Adam. And Adam Amour was the winner here in February with Lawrence Costa behind him. Third fastest start of the competition, 5:16 in the first heat, 5:18 in the second. So they extend their advantage over Brad Hall and Taylor Lawrence by a further 300ths of a second. It was 1800s as they sat down. Nice looking run so far. Smooth lines from the German driver, 2200s up. Nice transition, out of 9. Little late. Best speed of all. Driving himself into the medals. 2100s over Brad Hall. Second best speed, quicker than the British sled. The FES sleds absolutely fly in all conditions. Long skid out of 14, still better speed than the Brits. And he's going to take the lead away by over 0.3 of a second, guarantees himself a medal. We saw a little applause from René Spies on the left of shot, Gert Leopold on the right-hand side. René Spies, the Bundestrainer, man in charge of this German bobsleigh team. Matthias Höpfner down there at the front of the sled helping out, one of the driver coaches. Just a little hard, 4 into 5. And that might cost him a silver medal, but he is in the medals. And again, little skiddy out of 14, uphill sideways, is not fastest. There's Adam Moore, our leader. There's Issam, Adam beside him. Now, Hansi Lochner, Georg Fleischauer. 2 consecutive wins on this track in January 2023. Crashed, did not race in February this year. Hansi fractured his neck. And of course, Mickey Vogt and Sandro Mikkel badly injured. Sandro Mikkel very badly injured. He is training though, recovering with Mickey Vogt. So let's see what Lochner's got. 5:14, and what a great start. 100th quicker than their first. Really wants to pile the pressure on Francesco Friedrich, but that meander out of 1 to 2 isn't going to help. Hard off 4 into 5. Friedrich hasn't won here in 2 years, 3 races since he was last on top of the podium. Little skid off 9. Better speed than Adam Amour for Hansi Lochner. Nice exit. Second best speed, but that is behind Jakob Mandelbauer, so quicker than Amour. He's going to add to his advantage. 25.4, best speed of all so far. And it will be the lead at the line for Johannes Lochner. 54.45. 2/10 quicker than Adam Amour and 1800s quicker than his first heat. He was 3500s off lead, so Francesco Friedrich basically has to go 2/10 slower than his first run to give away the gold. Well, Hansi with a big smile on his face. Race 1 of the World Cup season, Friedrich's home track, and Hansi in medals. Very bumpy, 5 and 6. See him leaning the body there to counter steer as they came off 9. Georg on the left, Hansi on the right. Hansi got married in the summer as well. Living the dream at the moment. Well, Francesco Friedrich, what about him? Last wins here, his 7th and 8th in the 2021-2022 season. 6 World Cup wins, 2 World Championship golds as well as two-man since his first victory, tying with Thomas Florschutz back in 2012-2013, 12 years ago. And with Simon Wolf behind him, the rookie, his first ever official bobsleigh race. 5-7 start in the first heat. They tie their new start record in the second. Just for argument's sake, the all-time track record set in the World Championships in 2020, a 54 flat for Francesco Friedrich and Torsten Margis. Ooh, a little late off 9. But best speed of all. Beautiful off the cradle. Second best speed. 4,400s up. Nice out of 14. Still second best speed. He's going to win by nearly half a second. Victory in the season opener for Francesco Friedrich and new boy Simon Wolf. Rennie Spiess on the left, Gert Leopold on the right. Applaud as Germany go 1, 2, 3. So Francesco Friedrich and Simon Wolf are our race winners. Johannes Lochner, Georg Fleischer in second. Matthias Höpfner offers his congratulations. And Adam and Issam Amour take the bronze medal. Home ice victory for the first time in 4 starts. Honest to goodness, how does somebody as big as Simon Wolf do a 10.08 100 metres? Germany's 3rd fastest ever 100-metre sprinter. And an exceptional new talent in the bobsleigh team, helping Francesco Friedrich to 2 start record pushes. And Friedrich needs no greater inspiration. Begins the season with a bang and with a gold. His first win on this track since 2021-22 season. His 9th gold medal on home ice in Altenberg. A first for Simon Wolf. And the 7th World Cup start. And it's his 100th World Cup darts, Francesco Friedrich. It's win number 48. It is medal number 68 in 2-man alone. Friedrich, Lochner, Amour, the top 3, ahead of former podium finishers Hall and Kim. Baumgartner in 6th. What a great set run. 11th to 6th for Patrick Baumgartner, ahead of Jakobs Kalender. Lee Chun-jan, Cedric Follador and Timo Röhner, both at top 10 for Switzerland. Markus Treichel dropped out of the 10, ahead of Mihai Tenter and Jakob Mandelbauer. Frank Del Duca 14th with his new brakeman. New brakeman 2 for Boris Vin, for Sun Kai Chi, for Ads Baird and Jakub Prochaska. So a lot of new talent coming in, 2 years out from the Winter Games. And that is how they finished in Altenberg. First race of the IBSF 2-man bobsleigh World Cup is in the books, and an all-German podium. Don't bet against that in 4-man tomorrow either. We'll have to wait and see, though, obviously, how that transpires. Before then, though, we will have the season opener for the women. It will be the monobob, and we will begin our broadcast at 1600 local, 1500 GMT. That is 10 a.m. Eastern. And that will be, oh, I can't do subtraction. It will be in about an hour and a half from now. But for now, Francesco Friedrich and Simon Wolf, your winners. And from the entire IBSF TV crew here in Altenberg, from me, Martin Haven, thank you for joining us. Do come back this afternoon to watch the monobob season get underway. For now, Francesco Friedrich leads the standings from Hansi Lochner and Adam Amour. Of course, they are ranked as they finished in the only race so far this season, the season out here in Altenberg. So 4-man tomorrow at the slightly earlier time of 11:45 local, so 10:45 GMT. I'm afraid that means 05:45 in Eastern. But wherever you are, join us then. And don't forget, 1600 local, 1500 GMT, monobob World Cup gets underway here this afternoon. We'll see you then.
Kan Okay, complete. So, Francesco Friedrich, Simon Wolf, congratulations on this spectacular win. But Francesco, you have a lot of experience. If you're okay with it, I'm first going to go to the debutant today. So, your first ever World Cup push, you push a track record together, of course, with Francesco. How does that feel?
Well, it's amazing. I'm really relieved today. Usually I'm really relaxed when I do sports, but today it's a totally new atmosphere and everything. So today was a little bit of a pulse there, but well, I think we managed it pretty good.
Yeah. So there's a lot of publicum, of course, here in Altenberg. It makes a lot of fun, eh?
Definitely. I mean, it's a great atmosphere with all the people here on this, at the start. It's really good. You can't even hear anything, so great.
Good. Francesco, of course, another straight win here on Altenberg. You must be very satisfied with your race today.
Yeah, it was very good, and we have great numbers today. My 100th two-man race, Simon's first one, and my 80th World Cup win. So it was fantastic here in Altenberg, and so it can go on.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.